We're still waiting on Mr. Bashinsky, but we're just going to get rolling. He'll have to pick up here. Just a little background here. Dr. Larry approached me about doing a forum here on Big Pine Key, and I said, okay, but let's do something a little bit different if we're going to do it. And I told him what I'd like to see happen is more of a candidate-driven forum. In other words, what we're going to do tonight is give the candidates the opportunity to frame the issues. And we'll pull names out of a hat here, and we'll start. Each candidate will have a chance to frame an issue and talk about it briefly. You get points for brevity tonight too, okay? Briefly frame the issue and how they feel about it, and then pass the microphone to your left. The next person there will get a chance to weigh in on it. And then everybody will get a chance to weigh in on that particular issue. You know, keep the answers short. I'll try to keep things moving. I'm not going to time anybody here. And then I'll pull another name. That candidate will get a chance to frame another issue, where we're going on this. And in doing so, then everybody else will have a chance to weigh in on that. So in doing that, I'm not going to ask questions. I'm not going to comment. And here's Mr. Bashinsky here. Take your seat, Sloan. We're just describing how we're going to do this. I'm going to pull names out of a hat. Each of the candidates will have a chance to frame an issue, and then the other candidates will have an opportunity to weigh in upon that particular issue. We'll keep things moving as quickly as we can, and if we have time, we'll take another round and frame additional issues. I'm going to try not to ask any questions. I will just be like a traffic cop or a referee and keep things moving here tonight. And Matt is filming tonight. I believe you're going to be posting it on your website, which is
nakedconch.com. Nakedconch.com.
Nakedconch.com. So we'll be posting it on that. With that, we're going to get things rolling. Thank you all for attending tonight. I realize it's 6 o'clock on a Friday night, and a lot of people would rather be somewhere else. So thank you for coming tonight. I'm going to pull a name here, and we'll start with that candidate, and that candidate will be able to then frame the issue. Beginning with Sloan Bashinsky. We're not timing this. We're just going to give you an opportunity to frame the issue, talk about it briefly, and then we'll pass the microphone to the other end, and we'll move the microphone this direction. Go right ahead.
Would you take the lens cap off? Thank you.
Is this working all right? Oh, should we stay seated? Is that how we're going to do it?
You're fine.
All right. Everybody can hear back there? All right. I think the issue, is probably paramount. It doesn't look to me, after worrying with, studying on it, going to meetings, and talking to people for, I don't know, since the middle of last summer, it seems, or late last summer, that this school district can be fixed by electing new board members or bringing a new superintendent. And of course I know that that's considered to be an insane view by many people, and it probably won't take hold, but I think in the next year or two, Pacific, that is so. That the new band-aids, the new promises, the new attempts to fix did not. I have no solution I could bring off if I was on the school board. I don't think anybody does. I think the solution lies with each school. Let's use Sugarloaf School, for example, because they've had a great deal of upset at that school and it's nearby. If Sugarloaf School had been a charter school, I think most of that commotion could have been avoided altogether by the principal, the parents, and their board of directors. They would basically be operating independent of the school district, just like the charter school on Big Pine. And they would make and determine their own future within the parameters of the money they receive allocated to them as required by law and allowed by law. So that's where I think you're going to find I'm different from everybody else. And does everybody understand how it's a little bit about charter schools? Does anybody not? Okay. Any school, as I understand it, can the principal, the parents, the teachers can get together, and there's some procedures you have to go through that's not easy, and they're going to be, all sorts of ego struggles and all that. But you can take Sugarloaf School charter. You can take Key West High School charter. You can make each school an independent operating unit. And then you will not have to put up with the likes of me on the school board or any of these people or anybody that's on the school board now or with the superintendent. It turns out you don't like any more than you like the last ones you've had. So that's what I toss out right now.
Okay, why don't we pass it to the other end and we'll work that way. Okay?
There you go.
John, you're trying to weigh in on this one.
I'm assuming that the question posed is, can the school district be fixed? I have to believe that the Monroe County School District can be fixed. Before you can lay out a plan to determine a path, a course of action to take, you have to understand a little bit of the history of Monroe County. Just recently, Dr. Porter was hired, or Mr. Porter was hired to be the superintendent of schools. I only met him once. I don't know if he has the inspiration and the motivation to fix the system. But I do know that in the last 10 years, he'll have the dubious honor of being the 6th superintendent in a 10-year period. The problems that has caused the school district are obvious. It has changed the outlook of academics. It has changed leadership drastically. Him being the 6th superintendent in 10 years, the things that have changed that I've noticed are inconsistencies in the leadership, lack of direction, changes in management style, a lack of vision. These are typical things that you have when leadership changes. And Monroe County School District has been through, he'll be the 3rd one in probably less than 36 months. And with every change, you see a change in the executive level leadership too. Does this person bring somebody with them, as Dr. Burke brought Jesus Jara with them? The executive level team that we have right now is made up of Mrs. Axford, Mr. Kinnear, Mr. Gentile, Mrs. McPherson. These people are running the schools right now. The superintendent is not running the school system. These people are all new to that position, probably less than 2 years. I believe they can do the job, but I think they have to be worried. They have to be concerned what the future holds for them. So it's a lack of leadership over the last couple of years, management style, lack of vision, communication problems are big in the school district. The new superintendent is going to have his plate full, but I have to believe the system can be fixed. Thank you.
Good evening, folks. My name is Mark Peterson. As you know, of course, I'm a candidate for the school board, and I would like to comment on both what Mr. Bashinsky and what Mr. Welch just said. I also believe that the school district can be fixed. The problem with the school district is mismanagement at the top, and I'm talking about the school board. If the school board ran the business properly, and that is a business, this is an $80 million a year business, and it has to be run like a business. And if the school board at the top ran the business like businessmen run businesses and looked out for the welfare of the members of the school district, I'm talking about the taxpayers, the parents, the teachers, and the other administrators, instead of trying to appease certain groups or trying to make themselves look good in the press, we'd have an efficient school system today. All of the problems we have are a result of mismanagement at the top. And that mismanagement goes back to Randy Acevedo's era and probably before. And all the problems that we have today are essentially financial. And the financial problems are caused by mismanagement at the top. Now, yes, I've said that this school board is not competent, that they're not doing the right thing in terms of money management for the school district, and I'll talk about that more later when I get the microphone. But at this point, it can't be emphasized enough that if we're going to do something here, we need a clean slate. We need to take people that have been on the school board for a long time and have them retire so we get new faces and new ideas and new people with money management skills that can make intelligent decisions regarding the welfare of this school district. Our problems are financial. As you noticed, our school district came out, I think it was 8th or 9th in the state in terms of academic performance. What does that tell you? That tells you that the teachers are doing their job. That tells you that the students are trying. That tells you that the teachers are working with difficult circumstances. And the circumstances that they are having that are difficult are all due to financial mismanagement at the top. Thank you.
I'm Yvette Myers-Talbot, and I'm a candidate for District 2. I think that we can all agree on the issues. I mean, I think we all know what they are. One of my greatest concerns, as one of the gentlemen mentioned, is that it can't be fixed. I mean, it's run across my mind. I'm a very, very much an optimist, and I have to believe that we can fix this. I think it's challenging. I think it's going to be difficult. There is no silver bullet. There is not one answer to this. It's going to take a group effort. And I am more than willing to take the time to learn the issues, and study them, and do my absolute best. But it's going to take cohesiveness. And that is something that I see this school system lacking. Everyone seems to, there's so much infighting going on at all levels. And I think that the one thing as adults that these executives and people seem to miss is that most of the things that they do, if not all, affect our children. As a parent, as a business person, in every aspect of my life, my greatest concern is always the children. They are our future. I've invested many, many years serving children and adults alike, but what concerns me the most is that these hasty decisions that are made without any forethought, any planning, any consideration for the consequences of their actions are never thought through, and they're never looking at who's affected. What I hope is with Mr. Porter coming into town, and Mr. Welsh is correct, we've had a lot of change at the top. And when you have a lot of change at the top, there's no consistency and no one knows what to expect. And it takes a long time to fix a problem like this. You can't change hands every year, every 2 years and expect a different result. It's not going to happen. But what I'm hoping is that with Mr. Porter coming in, it's a fresh start for all of us. I hope that we all embrace him. We help him, we support him, because it is a difficult community sometimes. You know, we're very opinionated, and that's a great thing. But we're going to have to work together to make this a positive experience for everyone. We have to accept him with open hearts, open minds, open arms, and hope that he will be the beginning of a change. And as we know, we're going to have one new school board member, hopefully 2. And I think that if all of us work together, put our minds together, and keep a common goal, that we can persevere. So I am very, very hopeful and optimistic that we can achieve that goal.
I'm Howard Hubbard, running for District 2. When you ask, is the school system broken? It definitely is broken. Can it be fixed? Depends on who you talk to. All the people I've talked to, students, parents, teachers, administrators, business people, everyone will agree it can be fixed. Each one has a different solution. One of the things I noticed when I talked to one of the senior educators in the system was she spent 6 months putting together a proposal on how to save money, sent it up to the superintendent's office, and it sat there. No one read it. She tried 3 times to arrange a meeting to discuss it. Couldn't arrange the meeting. No one wanted to have the meeting. There's a complete disconnect between the administration and the education side. I have yet to find anyone who speaks badly of how our children are being educated. Everyone thinks it's a great system. The biggest problem, though, occurs when you get into the administration, the bureaucracy, if you will. They have their own agendas, different and distinct from what we see for the students. Somehow or other, the school board has to make these two disparate parties work together. I think it can be done. I think it's going to take a fresh vision. I think it's going to take new insights, people who don't know the system, who are willing to ask questions and challenge the way things are done today.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Larry Murray. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and sitting in on a little different approach to the forums. I also want to thank the other candidates that are here tonight. I know they all made an effort to not only be here, but explain the situation in the school district as they see it. Whether or not the school district can be fixed, it seems to me we have three options. One is something called school-based management. Unfortunately, Ed Davidson, that's his mantra, is not here with us tonight. I would like to hear a good explanation of school-based management. It's been said that the brouhaha down at Sugarloaf School over the physical education earlier this summer was an example of failed school-based management. I just really don't know. It looks to me like school-based management works great if everybody agrees. But if everybody doesn't agree and fracturing takes place, how you work that through, I don't know. Which leads me to the second option, something I believe my friend Sloan has talked about a number of times, and that is turning all the schools into charter schools. Now, we all know that the charter schools that we do have in Monroe County overall have a very enviable record. Now, one of the differences between the charter schools and school-based management, as I understand it, is the charter school has a board of directors. The principal doesn't make the decisions, but rather the board of directors, in consultation with the principal, reflecting the constituency, they make the decision. I have no problem at all with charter schools. In fact, I was one of the earliest supporters of the Big Pine Academy. When the school district was unable, for a variety of reasons, to build a school here on Big Pine Key, I strongly endorsed the academy. I thought it was unconscionable. I live out in Port Pine Heights. I had 6-year-olds on my corner at 6:30 in the morning waiting for a bus to go all the way to Sugarloaf. You know, there's something wrong with that system, and the charter school has certainly rectified that problem. On a practical level, I'm not sure that's possible. It would require the parents in each school to kind of come forward and say, we want to reorganize into a charter school. If they wanted to do that, I would certainly accept their decision. Mark Peterson down the way, I'm sure before the night is over, will talk about, what was it, Mark, that obscene decision to give away Glen Archer School to the city of Key West. And I've heard John Dick talk about that, and he talks about, you realize if we don't give that away to the city of Key West, it could become a charter school. Like a brothel would be better, you know, I mean, what's wrong with a charter school? But in the mind's eye of the chairman of the school board, charter schools are the enemy. Now the third opportunity, or option, is to try to fix what's wrong. That's been the general consensus, what I've heard here tonight, and I endorse that consensus. We have an opportunity now with the new superintendent to work with that new superintendent to make the future a little bit different. But we would be naive. We've talked a lot about change at the top. There's going to be more change at the top. Michael Kinnear, the CFO, as most of you know, or all of you know, has threatened to resign by midnight Monday. Ken Gentili is under investigation for fraudulently misrepresenting himself. So my expectation is that in the next few months, a couple of the major administrators are going to be gone. So this turmoil and change isn't going to change. And it's going to take, some serious work to stabilize the district. But I'm willing, if I'm elected, my option is to go with fixing the district, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish that task, recognizing it's not going to be an easy task.